Greetings everyone, my name is Edmund Ike and today we're going to be talking about the unification of Africa. And before I dive into the video proper, I would like to start with a quote made by a Gambian historian and a Pan-Africanist by name Alieu Ebrima Cham Joof. He stood in 1963 before the great leaders of 32 African signatory countries when Organization of African Unity was created in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. He stood before this man and spoke. It is barely 75 years when the European powers sat round the table in Germany, each holding a dagger to carve up Africa for its own benefit. Your success will inspire and speed up the freedom and total independence of the African continent and eradicate imperialism and colonialism from the continent and eventually neo-colonialism from the globe. Your failure, which no true African in Africa is praying for, will prolong our struggle with bitterness and disappointment. I therefore adjure that you ignore any suggestion outside Africa and holding that the present civilization, which some of the big powered are boasting of, sprang up from Africa, and realizing the entire world has something earthly to learn from Africa. You will endeavor your utmost to come to an agreement. Save Africa from the clutches of neo-colonialism and resurrect African dignity, manhood, and national stability. This video was actually inspired by a speech sent to me by a friend last month in April 2019. The speech by Dr. Arikana Chihombronkwa, the African Union Ambassador to the United States, whose office was to promote Africans in Americas as well as galvanize African diaspora in the development of Africa. Hence, African diasporans are supposed to be in the front line of African development by engaging each other and understanding of each other. Now you may ask, how was the disunity of the continent of Africa enforced? Dr. Arikana pointed to us to the Berlin Conference. It was the Berlin Conference which was led by Bismarck of Germany, plus all the proceedings that occurred in between 1884 to 1885 that led to the complete defeat of Africa. And hence the total colonization of the continent. And you may ask, has any attempt been made to unify the continent since then? Yes, an attempt was made in 1963, but it was a failed attempt. In 1963 was the formation of the Organization of African Unity in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. During this meeting in Addis Ababa, the leaders of the 32 signatory countries failed to come to an agreement. That was the failure to unify Africa. It led to what was known as the Casablancan Group and the Moravian Group. The Casablancan Group was led by Kwame Nkrumah of Ghana and 6 other countries, which include Algeria, Guinea, Morocco, Egypt, Mali, and Libya. This Casablancan Group believed that unification of Africa was now, that means at that point in 1963, that we needed to unify Africa in 1963 immediately with urgent effect. But on the other hand, the Moravian group have a different idea, which was led by Senghor of Senegal and the rest of the African countries, which include Nigeria, Liberia, Ethiopia, and all French-speaking African countries. And they believe that unification of Africa should be gradual and we should take our time. Hence, the failure to unify Africa, and whose consequences we still suffer till this day. Some may ask, why are we trying to unify Africa when individual African countries are in chaos and in disunity and impoverished? Well, I would say there are examples of African countries that have made effort to unify itself. A good example is the conflict between the Hutus and the Tutsis in Rwanda. We all remember Hotel Rwanda, but since then Rwanda is a different country under the governance of President Paul Kagame. The country have been peaceful and development have been progressive. One can say Rwanda is currently a middle-income country. Another good example of how impoverished African countries will have risen to the occasion and become more economically viable occurred in Burkina Faso under the legendary Thomas Sankara. He was able to transform Burkina Faso in between 1983 to 1987 before his assassination. Burkina Faso was so impoverished and the mercy of desertification, but he transformed it that Burkina Faso had plenty and surplus of food, and they reversed the process of desertification of the country by planting over 10 million trees, rejuvenated the educational system, and upgraded every sector of the economy. So you see, Africa countries, individual countries can be unified, and so can the continent as a whole be unified. Now, what are the importance of unifying African countries? I would say the importance of unifying the continent of Africa is so many, but I'll just mention 5 points. 1, unification of Africa will enable the continent to speak with one voice and strong enough to protect the interests of every African inside of Africa and every Africa outside of Africa. 2, it will help break the evil path of the continuation of colonization of French-speaking African countries who still to this day pay taxes to France in the excess of over 500 billion US dollars every year. 3, unification of Africa would enable Africans everywhere around the world to achieve their true potentials and be treated with dignity. Number 4, it will help end dictatorship in countries such as Togo and Cameroon. And number 5, the unification of Africa will help small African countries who are currently not economically viable to become truly economically viable. These are 5 major points which I think are important for the unification of Africa. If you're new to this channel, please go and subscribe, join the conversation in the below, and give me your opinion of why you think it's important to unify Africa, or the contrary opinion is always welcome. And also I will link the video to the speech of Dr. Arikana Chumbura on the description box of this video, so you can watch at your leisure. Thank you very much for listening, and stay connected and continue to propagate the journey of unification of Africa. Thank you and stay blessed.